Levi will out time trial me, regardless of his broken leg. Sorry, you got to put those plugs in there. You know, if he's training for 6 weeks, he's got to have some form. Come on, man. So I seen him at the press conference too. He's about that big, so he's as thin as can be. The guy's a professional. He's on form. I'd absolutely be amazed if he's dropped before we get to the time trial. I'd be amazed if he's not top 5 after the time trial. So on Baldy, he's going to have to light it up, because I expect Zabriskie or one of the other guys to be in the leader's jersey, and then Levi's going to have to go on the attack. TJ's going to have to go on the attack. If these guys want to win Tour of California, then they're going to have to do some damage. And for me, I just need to do some big damage in the last couple K of the climb and gain back the 30 seconds or so that I lost in the time trial to win this thing. Well, Vincenzo, that's the real question. Has he had a rest period? I don't know his history. I haven't checked his blogs, if he has a blog, and so I don't know where his fitness is. But again, that will shine too in the TT. I mean, I don't like the design of the Tour of California. Me personally, for my type of rider, I would prefer a climb sooner. But the one advantage to having the time trial before the climbs is that I'm going to get to see for sure who's on form and who's not. And so again, the time trial is going to decide whether or not if Vincenzo's really been resting, or have the last 5 days given him enough training that he can go into the time trial, go into Big Bear, and now all of a sudden he's fit again. Because sometimes it's strange with your fitness. You can when you're a very good rider, you can come into a race not fit, but after 4 or 5 days of racing, you can become fit very fast. And so that's a possibility. So if Vincenzo had been resting, it could be in 5 or 6 days, he's a completely different rider than he is while we're having this interview. And so it's really difficult at this point, before the race has even begun, to decide Vincenzo's form. But he's #2 ranked rider in the world, so you're not going to let him go up the road if you can help it. TJ is a fabulous rider, and it wouldn't surprise me a bit if he won the Tour of California. Really very good kid, very, very young, very strong, very good time trialist, very good climber. So it would be no surprise to see him come out of here with the Tour of California. Small mistake last year on the Sierra climb, doing a little too much work and then taken advantage of from the older, more experienced riders. But I think he learned his lesson from there. I don't think he's going to make that mistake again. Those little mistakes he's made in the past are what changes you in the future. So I don't think he's going to make those mistakes again. He's too intelligent to do that. So the real question is just whether or not if he can climb up Baldy as fast as the others. And certainly he's been very close to us in the past. So if Levi's form is less because of his accident, if mine is less because of doing the classics and not coming in here as well rested as I did last year, then all of a sudden TJ's right there at the same level as we are and capable of winning the Tour of California. And in all frankness, maybe at his age, his form is just advanced that one step further that we can't ride with him. We're all waiting to see that, aren't we? So. Who else? Danielson rode a fabulous race last year, finishing 3rd overall, so he's going to be a favorite. He looked really good at the Basque Country when I saw him. I think Zabriskie is going to be wearing the leader's jersey after the time trial. If Garmin Barracuda do everything right, if they really look after Zabriskie, if they make sure we have field sprints and they keep the times close on all the early stages, if there is any kind of danger of a break getting away, then you would look at Garmin to come to the front, bring it back. You gotta believe Zabriskie can put the leader's jersey on after the time trial. And so if at any point in time a team is wearing the leader's jersey during AMGEN Tour of California, you know you've had a successful week of racing. So you gotta believe in the back of their mind, on the burner, they got Danielson, they got Zabriskie as being one of the most protected riders on their team, so he can win a stage and possibly put the jersey on. Who knows how he climbs the next couple stages? It's always questionable with his form on if he's really climbing good. Certainly I believe he can. And then you got their young kid, Talansky, who's put on a show there at Romandy. A little bit different racing there at Romandy versus what we're going to have here at California. So I don't expect him to be a big favorite, but certainly a guy to keep an eye on. And so a lot of talent here this year. And I mean, we got, I don't know, 4 or 5 of the top 20 riders in the world here. So Royce, other than solid last year, ran top 10 the whole time. Was climbing 2 years ago with me, Lance, and Levi as we went up the Bonnie Doon stage. He climbed every stage with the leaders until we got to the last day, and then the climbing started to catch up with him because he's a little bit bigger rider. So Sutherland could easily look like he's one of the favorites for this race, certainly all the way through to the time trial on Big Bear. And then it's just whether or not if he's found that reason of why in the past he can't do multiple climbing stages in a row, but certainly could look like on paper as a favorite here. If coming from the domestic teams, that's the only guy at the moment that I know of that can stay with all the big Europeans.